Hey, what's going on, guys? It's OGC here. Today we're going to take a peek at the brand new artifact that has broken the game.
Welcome! E aí, galera, beleza? Bem-vindo à nossa comunidade.
Welcome to our community.
Hey guys, so welcome. Today we have an awesome video. We're going to be coming at you, taking a look at this new Mirror of Reality. Such a cool name. I am a huge fan of this artifact. This artifact changed the game in the moment that it was released. So before we jump in, let's take a quick peek at what the artifact does, and then we can discuss possibilities and things like that. Disclaimer, I normally cannot stand videos where people just read off the item and stuff, but honestly, it is surprising at how many people don't read it or don't read all of it. So let's go through and just clarify it real quick before we jump in because there's a lot of little things inside of it. So let's break down all the mess before we get started. So at 1 star, it spawns a hero reflection during the deployment that inherits 30% health and damage and cannot cast active abilities for the first 30 seconds of the battle. So what this means, this first sentence is during deployment of the hero. So before the battle starts, when you're putting your army together, you're doing your formation, that's when you get the spawn of the hero reflection. That's when you place the spawn of the hero reflection. You place it just like a regular hero. The next important thing is it cannot cast active abilities. Or that's what everyone seems to think. It actually can cast active abilities. You just can't do it during the first 30 seconds of the battle. So as soon as 30 seconds of the battle has passed, boom, you can use active abilities. So deploy the hero in the formation stage. You can cast abilities after the first 30 seconds at 1 star. The next sentence, which is a very small one, but I think an often overlooked one, is reflection will not be spawned in the void. So you cannot use this for the void. This would be super overpowered if you could. You cannot use it in the void. Hero must be deployed for the reflection to be duplicated. This makes sense. How can you have a reflection if there's nothing there? Gotta think about it, right? Gotta think about it. We now have masteries, and most auras do not stack. We'll actually talk more about the auras later, but pretty much anything that offers a giant boost to your troops. So like Gan's Nature, Blessing, Avalon's health aura, or Archer Mastery, or Swordsman Mastery, those don't stack. Heroes that cost 3 energy to deploy cannot have a reflection, and due to hero specific, some effects will not take effect. So Jax, Balrog, Rose, etc. All cannot use this. At 2 stars, all it does is increase the health and damage up to 50%. So you go from 30% to 50%. At 3 stars, it allows the reflection to cast abilities, thereby reducing the cooldown of all hero abilities by 2 seconds. Don't know, don't have that it at 3 star, can't test that out for you guys. 4 stars, increase the health to 80% of that, and at 5 stars, the cooldown of hero abilities is reduced by 4 seconds when the reflection casts an active ability. When both the hero and its reflections are on the battlefield, they gain 30% bonus magic resistance. So it pretty much just gets way more tanky at 5 stars. So I think that this is the coolest artifact out there because it's very strong at 1 star. Super strong at 1 star. Everything that you need is in it at the 1 star stage. So yeah, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. The other thing is, I think this is the best artifact because of these two things. I don't mean best by stats. I mean best because it rewards creativity. So you can be super creative with this. You are not confined to this is the best for this. This is the best for that. Every staple should go on Mako, or every 5 star main needs to go on Bane or Belrock. No, this artifact can actually get moved around. You can do different things with it. Different races will use it for different things. It's so cool in the sense that all of a sudden this game, like we are talking about in yesterday's video with the garrisons, there is so much constraint in the game and we're so limited with what we can do. All of a sudden, that's broken open and we can actually put some creativity into the game. So let's go test this out. Let's see what this looks like. So if we go to attack, right now I have mine on Yip. If we deploy Yip, all of a sudden we can deploy the other Yip. So again, we cannot deploy the reflection until we place Yip. Once we place Yip, we can place the reflection. My head's probably covering it, but the reflected hero counts towards the army cap. So having 2 Yips, you can actually deploy 4 packs of heroes. And I do apologize, my body's probably covering the 4 out of 4 for the army size. So that's important to note. Because of that, that's why they don't allow this in the void. That's my guess. Or having 2 of any one hero is kind of overpowered. If you do this with Avalon and he has 1 point in Nature's Blessing, he can deploy 6 units with Avalon and his reflection. That's pretty cool. The other interesting thing is with Yip specifically, the tailwinds will actually stack. So let's go try this on a different hero real quick. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll kind of go through each hero real quick and just see some possibilities with it. I'm not going to tell you what you should do with this artifact. You should do with this artifact whatever you want, go out and test it. It's not hard to get to 1 star. If you are a free-to-play player, I highly recommend getting this artifact. You can come into the shop and on occasion in the regular section, they will actually sell the materials at 70 Lenari each. It might take you some time to save up and get it, but it is totally doable. So what we can do is we can look at each of the heroes and I'll give you a couple of thoughts on them. If you want my takeaway and you want to skip the rest of the video for the ones that I think are really going to be beneficial, Grimm's for Dwarf. Just especially for the siege because of the reload. I think that's huge. Probably not for PvP, but for siege definitely. All of a sudden, dwarf siege is getting twice as much ammo. Avalon because of Warhorn for all of your troops. That's massive, and also Yip because the tailwinds will actually stack on top. So if you put two Yips together with a pack of archers or Mako, the tailwinds will stack on top of each other and do even more damage. Absolutely massive for them. 2 Cleos for 2 black holes. So there's a lot of possibilities, but let's jump in. Let's look at each one. So with Varian, he'll actually be able to get 2 leaps of faith going off. Or deep impacts, I think that they're called now. Leap of Faith is pretty good name for it. But Rufio can actually do 2 of those now. I don't think that this artifact is good for melee heroes at 1 star. If you bring it up to 5 stars, sure, it could be amazing. But all of this is going to be for the 1 star review. Since Rufio will only have, or the reflection of Rufio will only have 30% of his HP and or attack, I don't think it's going to be super beneficial for him. For Avril, if you are anything but dwarf and you are sieging, you could put it on her. You'll lose out on a lot of magic damage because you won't have the codex. So I don't think it's necessarily the best on Avril. I think having 2 Warwixes or 2 Yips because Yips tailwind increase the siege damage, I think those could be more beneficial. But the best part of this is be creative, go out and test it for yourself. I don't know everything. In fact, I know nothing. The next one is the Fire Mage. I think she falls into the same trap as Avril. Without the codex and stuff, drops off on a lot of damage. Avalon. So Avalon is a big contender. Under his skills, his aura, this aura does not get doubled. The Archer Mastery does not get doubled, but Warhorn. If you have really high Warhorn, you can pretty much get your entire army to start off with Warhorn. So that's something to consider when we have the timer events in the world again. This could be a really big thing to increase your time. So I think Avalon's a big contender. Elena, I don't see any use of this artifact on her. Um, I, maybe if you want to summon more Templars, that's about it. Or retreat more things. So Varian is an interesting one because with Varian, what you would get is you would get additional Crusader Resurrection and all of the fun things that come with that. However, the reason why I would not put this on Varian is because um, the reflection will die really fast. Varian at level 56 uh, almost has 600k HP. That means that if it's at 30%, I mean we're talking like a 200k HP hero. That hero is just going to drop and die. I think the 2-star Solanchus or whatever that healing staff is, I think that's best on Varian if you're a human player. Vega, you can get 2 heals, but they're both going to be horrible. So I don't think if you're low level, this might help you out. If you're beyond castle level 40, I don't think Vega has much of a chance. Lunella would be interesting, but I think that there's better options. Plus, remember, any of these melees are going to have 30% HP and attack, so they're going to die extremely fast and give up a moral boost. Gan could be really cool for 2 times the roots and 2 times the earthquakes. He might be one of those heroes that kind of creeps up down the road, like say a month from now when everyone's kind of over this artifact and on to the next thing. He might make a silent comeback because earthquakes are pretty strong. 2 Tyranids? No. Don't do it. Don't do it. 2 Gazules. So I guess you can get more resurrections, things like that. I still don't think it's worth it on Gazul. If I'm comparing these, I'm going to compare them to having, say, 2 Cleos, 2 Avalons, 2 Yips, or even 2 Fenderses. I don't think Gazul has really good skills, and him just being on the battlefield for anything but Lich really just it doesn't do anything. I mean, you got Fear of Samara, but that's about it. Cleo. So Cleo is actually another really good contender for this. So remember, after 30 seconds, you can cast a second skill. So if you have Black Hole and say you want 2 black holes, what's better than 1 black hole? 2 black holes. So in total, you can get 14 seconds of pretty much CCing the entire enemy army. That's something to consider. But here's the drawback with Cleo. You need to keep the Cleo alive, so you have 2 of them for 30 seconds. So the spawned Cleo, which is going to have like no health, at least mine has very little, but the second Cleo, the reflection, is going to have extremely little health. If Jax remotely breathes on her or any troop gets remotely close, she's going to be dead. So I don't think it. I play around with it, try it for yourself. Let me know in the comment section what you think of it. We have Warwick. So Warwick's is a very good contender as well. I think at 3 stars, if you get this artifact to 3 stars and you don't have to wait those 30 seconds to cast off the skills, I think Warwick's is your go-to person because you can put down so many lanterns so fast. Could be really strong. Again, I can't test it out. That's pure speculation. Otherwise, it could be good on Warwicks in different situations at the 1 star. Rose, we can't do it because Rose costs 3 energy, so we can't do it on Rose. Gafgar, again, I don't think it's cut out for melee units. I know he has his shield at the beginning, but why? Why? I just don't see it. Nora, if we're talking about an underwhelming hero that, yeah, then we're talking about Nora. I don't think this artifact goes on the underwhelming hero. Jax, this would be amazing on Jax, but Jax costs 3 energy, so we can't put it on Jax. Grims, so here's the deal with Grims. Grims has all of this ammo stuff, which if you are dwarf, this is going to change your world. So having reload ammunition that you can cast by 2 Grims when you're sieging with Dwarf Siege, that's going to increase your siege damage so much. That's one of the drawbacks of being Dwarf is the lack of ammo, so this could be huge. When it comes to PvP, I don't think that this is the way to go for Dwarf, but for Siege, absolutely. This is huge. Mako. So Mako is another contender. I think the more stars on the artifact, the better. Having a Mako deal 30% attack, it's not bad. It's not bad. Hey, a second Mako, you can't go wrong with it. But I think that you're better off. Even having an extra Yip for another Tailwind will give you more overall damage than having a second Mako. So I pass on Mako. Yip is my go-to for right now. The reason for that is I need to put the Tailwind trinket on, but you can get 2 Tailwinds and they stack on top of each other. So instead of increasing the damage for level 9 by 60%, it will increase it by 120%. That's huge. And if you have the 10 out of 9 Tailwind, it's even more. So I think Yip is a huge contender. When we look at Denji, same thing with all the melee heroes. Denji's not tanky enough. He's not cut out for it. At least for the 1-star. Talk could be really good. Not only would you get all of those extra chances to cast those skills from divination and everything, but then you have the trance and everything else. So try it out for yourself with Talk. It could be really good. I haven't done any testing with Talk. Let me know in the comment sections how it's gone for you. Bane, same deal with the melee heroes. He's just not cut out for it at 1-star. Belrog, again, melee hero. I think that there's way better things to do with this. Sprig, so Sprig could be another one, but I think he falls into the same trap as Mako, where it just doesn't, it's very lackluster, and having it on Yip would yield better damage overall. And finally, we have Fenders. What's better than 2 wolves? 4 wolves. So originally when I tested this out, it looked like his summoned wolves from the clone or the reflection were just as strong as regular Fenders. After retesting it, they're slightly weaker. So I don't know how it stands for Fenders. It seems pretty interesting overall to load up one side with a ton of wolves. So anyways, I think the big takeaways for this is be creative. Try out a lot of different things with it. 1-star, and unless you're willing to spend a lot of money, 1-star is good enough. And 1-star is very good, especially when we get outside of PvP and we look at the other aspects of the game. It offers so much to the other aspects of the game. When it comes to picking what character to put it on, if you're at 3 stars or higher, then I mean, whatever you want, you probably know better than me. If we're looking at 1-star on this, I think having it on a ranged character that's relatively safe it is probably the biggest thing. Having it on a ranged character. So even if that's Fenders, where he just stands in the back and he has his little wolves go out, that's cool. Cleo can be very good. There's nothing wrong with 2 black holes. I mean, that's literally 14 seconds of your enemy's life where their army is totally disabled. But the hero has to live. Or not the hero, the reflection of the hero has to live. So that's the only drawback with Cleo. When it comes to the two mages, the fire mage and the ice mage, it can be really tough because you're going to lose out on so much damage from not having the codex or anything like that. Um, so I really think right now the top contenders maybe Talk. I haven't tested Talk, but he might be pretty strong. Yip Yip seems to be the front runner for me. Stack two tailwinds together on one side and get insane amount of damage increase. Um, and that damage increase not only affects archers, it also affects Mako, it affects Sprig, it affects your siege. Is very strong overall. Two Cleos could be huge. Um, there's so many possibilities with this, so I highly recommend range unit, something for utility or CC. Um, Tailwind I would consider a utility. You need the hero to survive. I think that this is an artifact that you either get at 1 star or you bring it up all the way. I don't see 2 star being worth it at all. Going from 1 to 2 stars, you get 20% more HP and attack. Again, if the priority is for utility or increasing your damage overall, I think Yip still takes it, and doesn't matter if Yip has 20% more HP. He's going to be Yip. If he dies, he dies. So that's my take on this new artifact. Hopefully this helped you out or gave you some inspiration. Um, I don't know what the best use is. Be creative. Try different things out. The reason why I think that this is the best artifact, again, it allows for creativity. The entire game changed overnight because now we can do things that are just unthinkable. There are so many options, and that's what's beautiful about this artifact. Nobody is pigeonholed into one simple hero to put this on, or one specific thing to do for a certain race, besides dwarf if you're sieging. Um, Now we have more options, and options make the game fun. Diversity in the game and the strategies behind everything makes this fun. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you made it all the way through. I hope you guys have some fun with this artifact. I've had so much fun theory crafting with this and trying to come up with ideas and talking to people, and seeing uncertainty in people and then testing it out is so cool overall. So if you guys got anything out of this, please smash the thumbs up button, like the video if you haven't already subscribed. It helps us out tremendously here at OGC. And until tomorrow, take care, guys.